And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. This love the Afrobeat Music Talk Radio, your number one African Caribbean online radio. My name is DJ HWY, the place to be. And to those of you viewing us around the globe, and those of you listening to us too, we welcome you to the program Highway 6 to Africa. My name is DJ HWY once again. And joining me is my co-host, Ron MOLLINGA. Hi, Ron. How you doing?
Hey, TYB. I'm doing great today. I hope that everybody's not getting the weather we are, which is pouring rain here on the west coast of Canada and British Columbia. However, saying that, I went for a bike ride this morning and it was beautiful. So I hope all your viewers are getting half decent weather in the East Coast there, as well as around the world. So hello, everybody. I'm going to have a great show. And like always, we're going to be talking music. So it'll be a good show.
That's right. Everything about music. That's what we do best. That's what we have dedicated ourselves to be doing. And it's been a great pleasure to always come around here and discuss the trends that is in the world of entertainment. And we've been able to go through so many different hoops and bounds, and we've been able to get artists to speak with us without a gotcha kind of attitude that most of the time, a lot of them sort of don't want to go in front of the cameras. But anytime they come here, they are so comfortable because we make it so. And because we are artists too. And we don't want to be subjected to the same thing that somebody would be doing to us. So, it's all well and good. And how was your week, Ron?
My week was interesting. I did a bunch of songwriting. Of course, that's what I normally do. I did a bunch of biking like I normally do every week. I wouldn't say this week was that much different, other than I was in the southern end of Vancouver Island for part of Easter. How was your Easter, by the way, TYB? Because mine was pretty relaxed, but I was in a different town. How about you?
Yeah, it was just quiet, very, very, very quiet. Because you know what, Easter is not my thing. Christmas is my thing, and my Christmas is every day. Every day that I'm happy, it's my Christmas day. So it's all well and good. It was quiet and beautiful, and you know what, we did radio, but around that time, the guests and the hosts are always given the time to be with friends and family, to just relax and do what they have to do best, because doing radio it's not fun, but it's good to do because it's one way to sort of get information out there. The easiest way, I will say.
Yeah, well, it's certainly easier, I'll say, getting airplay on your place than it is on Spotify or other places. So I will speak from experience. So radio, yes, much better that way. And yes. It's an immediate communication with people.
Yes. And Ron, last week, for instance, we've been talking about, before we try and get a ReN DARAH. Well, by the way, folks, we are trying to get in touch with ReN DARAH. And then ReN, if you're listening, if you're having any difficulty, just drop us a line at 437-778-3299, or you can text us at 416-805-8436. 416-805-8436. We're trying to establish communications with it. Yes, I know what's going on the fact that you sent me a text, and I reminisced and I said, whoa, hold on a minute. Just wait a minute. Ron has been asking this question. I have been asking the same question. And how did he feel? And the question, folks, was, how did you feel when your music was being played on the radio for the first time? And you text me, and the question now goes to you. How did you feel when you heard Claustrophobic? By the way, Claustrophobic is the new track by Ron and Fasil, a very good collaborative effort. I've always told you, Ron, that this track is going to go places. Yeah. How did you feel when you heard the music?
That's a good one. I've heard the song now played numerous times on the air. However, the one that caught me off a little bit, I think, was about Thursday, and I was just standing in the kitchen making a coffee, ready to go back into the studio and do some more work. And my wife was wondering, why are you playing that music? And because I've heard the song so many times. And then it clicked. No, that's you guys on the radio. And I thought, oh, yeah, you're right. And then a friend messaged me and goes, you're on CBC right now, or you're on this station. And I just went, oh, okay, yeah, you're right. We are. So it was one of those things where I looked at it and I thought, hey, this is great. This is good. It's a step in the right direction. It means that it wasn't played for any specific show. It was just played out of the blue. And that's when you know things are going in the right direction, I think, because people are starting to play it just because they like it. And that's what I hope will always happen when I work with artists is let's get stuff where it's going to be able to, where we're going to be able to have lots of people listening to it. And one of the tricks to that is we don't swear. I won't work with artists that want to put foul language or swearing or anything like that. I mentioned this before, just because it's easier to get airplay then. I know that this station, the same thing. If there's swearing and foul language, I'm sure you guys, and you've said this to me before, you just won't play it. So that's what we try to keep away from. And then you'll have a better chance of being heard. And I must say, I do wonder when I see explicit language on Spotify or any other platform, I kind of wonder, okay, what are your odds of getting heard? Maybe people will enjoy that more. I have no idea, but I certainly don't. I don't think it's necessary for artists, but that's a whole different story. But yeah, it's good. I think what I like about Facil is that he's such a nice guy. He and I can talk about everything. We've already talked about our guest this morning what we're having this afternoon. So, it was just, I could talk to Facil about just about anything, especially when it comes to music. So, yeah. Long answer to a short question.
Go ahead, please.
No, I'm just saying that it's just, I could talk about this quite a bit when you work with people. I love working with different artists and people, especially if they're into it as much as I am. And I tend to be one of those ones who's over and beyond the top in terms of what I love about music. It's been in my life ever since I was 6 years old. So, yeah, it's just so important. And some people it is, and some people it isn't. And some people just listen to music because it's a joy. And that's the best reason probably in the world to listen to music.
Yeah. Like you say, any time that you come out there and then you see the whole premise starts with the fact that if you are at peace with yourself in the studio, with the producers, with the engineers and everything, the productivity is heavier than, it's better. You sort of, you're able to reach down deeper into yourself to sort of come out with certain things that you never thought about planning, putting it together. Well, whilst you were doing the recording, I quite remember when I was doing a track, my last track, and I introduced something that wasn't there. On my way to the studio, I just thought, oh, this thing would work. I went in there, I told Ozzy, my producer, we've been working together for over 30 years. And
Ozzy Osbourne?
Ozzy, yes. No, Ozzy. No, Ozzy.
Sorry.
It's called Ozzy Gurley.
Okay.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, he is the brain behind. He was the producer and one of the writers of the song "Who Let the Dogs Out."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that.
Oh yeah.
That's
right. I know the song. Yeah, yeah.
Ozzy,
we're both showing some age here.
That's right. Ozzy, for instance, has been with me for a long time. So anytime, like you say, anytime that you go into the studio to do something and it works, it's fine. But the icing on the cake would be when you hear it being played on air. It takes everything, the burden, everything that you put in, you know, you settle, you feel, and you ask yourself, is that me? Is that me? And I think yeah, you felt the same way. By the way, the track, folks, is called Claustrophobic, and you can get it on Spotify. It's all over the place out there. Very
Every
great.
platform.
That's right. Very great collaborative music between Ron and Nigerian artist Fasil. Well, like you always said, if people say I'm from Nigeria and I'm an artist, everybody expects you to be an Afrobeat musician. But in this
Yes,
particular
yeah.
case, he's gone that way and everybody's going that way. And I think it bodes well for him from where I sit. Because if there are a lot of people doing the same thing, the competition is keen. But if you are out there on your own and you look left and right and there's nobody there, you can get far. So I think the airplay and the publicity that Claustrophobic is getting is awesome. Congrats.
Thank you. It's interesting you should say that, because about the things that he has fought with, fights with in Lagos, Nigeria, is that when he puts out songs and he gives out examples of songs that we've written probably 25, 30 songs that we have. However, when people hear that, they do put pressure on him to say, well, when's your Afrobeat stuff coming out? Or questions about, why isn't this Afrobeat? You're from Nigeria. That's what it's supposed to be. And I'm glad that he's okay with taking a different course. And I think that in itself says something that he's doing differently than everyone else. And sure, I mean, he could be doing Afrobeat. However, I think that market has so many thousands of artists. I'm not saying that the stuff that we don't either doesn't have thousands. It does. However, it's just when you're in a country that has thousands and thousands of artists all trying to make it big, you have to be really unique and very different in terms of something must stick out. Something has to come forth that says, wow, that's different. I mean, how's that person? I mean, it's like the Weeknd, our good old Canadian guy, the Weeknd. Man, that guy's got a voice that you recognize almost as soon as he sings. So I think, yeah, he's doing stuff that, that I'd say that other people aren't, because not only has he got a great producer, we could talk about him forever, but his vocals are so right on. So he's got something going for him. Hey, his net worth is a whole lot more than mine, I'll tell you. However, it's nice that Fasil is willing to do something different than walking the same path that everybody else is doing. And that I commend him for. I think it's great when you can do that. I love working with Nigerians for some reason. I don't know what it is about them, but we seem to connect. I have so many of them messaging me on WhatsApp all the time, and very few Canadians. I wish I could work with more Canadians. I'll tell you the truth.
Well, the Afrobeat niche in Canada is non-existent. Just like we said before,
Yes.
it's non-existent, and
yeah, it really is.
It's very sad because there are a lot of great musicians in Canada, especially
Absolutely.
some great musicians out there, and it feels like we don't see a lot more of the Afro beats kind of artists out there, but mostly I see the women, not the guys.
Like Tome.
Like Tome, yes, like Tome, like Sila.
Mhm.
Is a blend.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've talked to
Yes.
many times. Yeah.
So and you don't see the men. You see
That's interesting.
it's very, very strange, Ron.
That is strange, because most of the time it's the other way around in Nigeria. It's always the men. And not always, but most of the time. I mean, you could say Airstar, sure, okay, great. There's some artists that are doing okay, pretty well. However, it's the men that dominate there. And you're right. I don't know as many Afrobeat artists in Canada. There's some. There's Seni. I know Seni. There's some who I know,
Yes,
and I've talked to, but I don't know the commitment level. I'm not saying Sandy, I'm not putting him on this, but the commitment is very small.
It's very small. I happen to have performed with an Afrobeat music, Temi. In fact, Temi has been here before, and we had a very great conversation. But he's one of the many. But he is versatile.
Mm-hmm.
He does a lot more R&B, great voice, great everything.
Mm-hmm.
Does a lot
Yeah,
more R&B than Afrobeat. He will do the
fair enough.
Afrobeat, but his taint is fused with the R&B. But so he is of the R&B kind of level, much more
Mm-hmm. Fair
than me.
enough.
But with the guys, no, I cannot. If you ask me right now, I will not be able to give you the name of one artist. Well, HOD is in town. He's a very good musician too. He used to do stuff with Tenny in Nigeria, and yeah, he's been here once, and I haven't heard about and from him for over 3 years right now. So just
Mm.
like we saying, um, we don't hear a lot more about the men in Canada. Conversely, if you go to Nigeria too, there's the men outshine the women.
No, absolutely.
It's a huge competition out there. So if you're not that great, or if you're trying to be Davido or Burna
Burna
Boy,
Boy, Wizkid,
with
any of
it,
those. Yeah.
then you better um, do very well because they have established their own kingdoms or fiefdoms, if I can put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So for you to go around them, mind you, there are a lot more others also who are trying to reach that level. So you are in competition with so many different. So you have to come up with a unique sound for everybody to say, that's that guy. So to break out from the Afrobeat kind of situation there is really tough, very tough.
Yeah, I agree with you. And you know, we've mentioned her many times, but Tyla is starting to do that. And I know some people will not be in favor of what she's doing, but one of the things that she is doing that I hear in her, just in her vocals alone, one is she's singing all in English. And I'm not saying that people who do Afrobeat should be doing the same. I'm just saying that that's one thing that stuck out. The other thing is that her enunciation or pronunciation of words in English were easy to understand. That helped her a lot. I mean, she won a Grammy for it. However, she did I think, a different approach to it, and that is she went, okay, I'm going to sing all in English. I'm going to make sure you hear me. Yeah, sure, I'm going to show off my body. We don't need to talk about that part of the music because that's not the music. And what I was hearing in her music, and just that song Water, is dynamics. Dynamics in music is the ups and downs that make a song work. And I heard that happening in the song. There was not everything was the same. I wasn't hearing the same rim shots happening all the time throughout the song. There was, I don't want to say stops and starts, but just variety, which I'm not always hearing in a lot of Afrobeat artists. And if you want to make it big, I would say that you need to be listening really. And I'm not that I'm the source of sources, but this is where I would be thinking, look at where your market is. Look at who you're trying to reach. And if it's just Nigeria, then you can do it whatever you want in terms of your singing in multiple languages. And that's great. That's a small market, very tiny market, and that's why there's a few that have already got a Wizkid, Burna Boy. We've named them already. Davido, you name it. They've got that just cased. But I think if you want to break out of that market, then you've got to think beyond Nigeria.
Yes, I know. I know your take on artists not singing in English, and then you're right. With ReN DARAH, for instance, three. She sings in Creole,
Mm-hmm.
English, and French.
Yes, I know. I heard that.
So it gives her an open market source, if I can put it that way. Just like you've always been saying that we've got to be able to sing so that, like you always use ABBA. And
Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
have been sitting down. At first, I said, what the heck is Ron talking about? But when I sit back and then think about what you said about ABBA, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I use the analogy a lot because they're from Sweden. And in Sweden, I don't know what a world population is like this, but in Sweden, there's only about 11 million people that speak Swedish. And so they took that into consideration. Like, why don't we sing in English? Because there's about 2.5 or so billion people that understand and speak English. I think we'd rather reach 2.5 billion than maybe the 11 million and sing their songs all in English or Swedish. I think, and that's the analogy I often give artists too, is like, who are you trying to reach? If you want to stay within your own country, that's fine. But here in Canada, I think most of us think of, because we're so close to the United States, I think of it as we are trying to reach a market that would get as many people as possible. And I don't know. I think that, to me, I don't know. It seems, I'm not saying that you shouldn't sing in one language or another. And for instance, if we get our guest on today, I'm not going to be asking her why she's not doing this. Maybe I will, but it's just that you have to think about where your market is. That's what I think about. And if there's 2.5 billion people speaking and singing English, I think your odds might be better. Maybe not. I don't know.
You just need only one breakthrough,
Mm-hmm.
and then once that hits, you are up and running. Folks, we are in conversation with ourselves here whilst trying to get in touch and in communication with our special guest, ReN DARAH.
Mm-hmm.
On How It Says to Africa, folks, we highlight what is best in the world of entertainment. There's a guest, a producer, a publisher. Yes, we have the conversation because we have the background to do that. And whenever we get artists here, they feel comfortable because we have conversations. We don't have interviews. That's why they do that. And if you want to be a guest on this program, or if you want your track to be playlisted here on Love the Afrobeat Music Talk Radio, it's got to be clean. If it's not clean, wow, it's out of the it's out of the studio. So if you want to do that, hey, infolovebay@gmail.com, infolovebay@gmail.com. And we are in conversation. I'm in conversation with Ron, my co-host, and PETRAA is not here with us today. But all the same, we are having a very great conversation right here. Ron, now let's go back to a topic of my interest.
I bet I know what it is already. I'm reading your mind.
Artificial intelligence is on my mind. Artificial intelligence. The whole thing is the premise that I'm going to start on is that if it was, I hope the materials that were used in building all these robots, they were not assembled by humans. But if they were assembled by humans, then it's not artificial because somebody sat down there, put them together, put the computer chips together, put everything in there. So whatever I see there is not artificial. I don't care what anybody tells me, somebody has programmed it in there. So if we think that it's an artificial intelligence doing it, well, I stand to be corrected, because if you put in, so like somebody said some time ago, it says garbage in, garbage out, right? If you put garbage in a chute, it comes out there. So I feel from where I sit that artificial intelligence is produced by human beings, but notwithstanding that, what I'm trying to look at it is its effect on the music industry. I'm not going outside of the music industry as well. The music industry. Claustrophobic.
Yes.
How would you like Spotify to tell you that, hey, we don't want to deal with you? There's no more Spotify. If you want to do it, just plug in A, B, C, D, E, F, and then that's it. You're done. But the whole thing is, how do you do it? How do you get your rewards? Are they any sort of precautionary measures that has been put in place to protect you, the artist or the producer or the manager? Because right now, I know this week I read that the United Nations has passed a non-binding resolution on AI, and I don't know how it's going to. If it's non-binding, I get scared. I get scared.
I don't
Ron.
know who's going to enforce it. Right there, that's the big one. Who's going to enforce that?
Mm-hmm.
I think with AI, I guess the one I would be most worried about if number one, if I was a singer, that's when I would be most worried, because as an artist, I could write a song and I could stick anybody's voice into it. I could, actually stick their voice in instead of the actual singer. And as the singer, I'd be going, that's my voice, but that's not a song I wrote. How do I, how, like, just what's coming of this? That's where I would be most worried about if I was in the music industry, and well, I am. But I would say that is the singers. That's what I get worried about for, is them. I don't get worried. I don't think about this too much, because I kind of think I'm going to work with somebody and we're going to record music, but I sure hope that somebody doesn't take the song and stick their own voice over top of it instead, because that could happen. What happens if somebody likes our song and says, I don't like that singer, I'm going to stick my own voice over top of that and make it my song? And then how do you enforce that? That is going to be the question I would be wondering about when it comes to AI, because I've heard some people saying that it's hard. It's a hard call in terms of telling the difference between who the artist, if it's really that artist or not. So that's who I'm most concerned for right now, is the singers. And I get worried about one other thing too, and that is, if I want to make a song, can I just go, make me a good song? Is that going to happen too? Write me a good song. Make sure it's got a hook in it. Make sure it tells the story about my love with my girlfriend Sally, and just using all kinds of analogies here. But it just, and then is it going to be able to write you the great song? I don't know. And then are we losing musicians then?
You're right. You're right. I was well. You were with the. I mean, are you talking in terms of the songwriters or the artists who go out there and then sing? Because if they are going to sample, or they are going to use whatever means that they want to do to sort of do what it takes, right, to have that recording done, and then I think it's I don't know. AI is worrying me, folks. We have ReN joining us.
Good.
And you know what? Well, folks, yes, we knew you. We know the reason why. I know the reason why ReN is joining us right now. You're welcome to Love the Afrobeat Music Talk Radio, ReN DARAH, all the way in Montreal, Quebec, Canada.
Yes.
How are you, ReN?
I'm good. I'm good. And you?
Awesome, awesome. It's nice to get you right here, because you know what? What we are doing right now is to bring out, before you joined us, we're talking about women in terms of the Afrobeat music that are non-existent in Canada, or Afrobeat music non-existent in Canada. But then we are trying to promote a lot more women to be with us on this radio program.
Okay.
To push the agenda of the, it's the International Women's Year, not International Women's Day, International Women's Year. So on that note, please, we would like to take this opportunity to welcome you to Highway 6 to Africa, and tell us a little bit about yourself, ReN.
So my name is ReN DARAH, and I'm a singer, songwriter, performer. I do more. I'm an African Caribbean artist. I do mostly French music and Caribbean music, which is more like compas, zouk,
Look.
all that, So yeah, and I'm Haitian. I was born in Haiti, so like my mission, and even purpose is to actually celebrate and share the Haitian culture and heritage, through my music, through everything that I do. So yeah, I'm really a proud Haitian.
Right.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, Ren, is good to have you here. When we started the station, I quite remember the first track that we played was a compa music,
Mm, that's nice.
and yes, because we play French Caribbean,
Mm-hmm.
English Caribbean, and Spanish Caribbean music on this radio station.
Nice, nice.
So we have an array of Haitian music.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I got your music, and I love that Freaky Souls, and I said, "That's right." And I said, "Wow, I got to get her to be on this station to have a conversation." So we've been playing Freaky Souls
Mm-hmm.
for about 3 months, 24 hours nonstop. So
Mm-hmm.
you know what?
Nice.
Here you are. And you know what? We are going to have this conversation. How
Yeah.
did it all start? How did the music journey start?
So I started by writing poetry and, let's say scenarios because I just love storytelling. So when I was a child in Haiti, I was like 8, 9 years old. Then I started right because I was born in church. So my first songs were like gospel songs.
Hold it,
Then
hold it,
after
hold
that,
it. You were born in.
in church, yeah.
Oh,
I was born in Haiti and I was raised in church, yeah.
okay. I got you.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
that's sorry.
Yes.
My
Okay.
You weren't
English is not
actually
my first
born in
language,
a.
so if I do some, mistakes,
No, that's all
Were
right.
you?
Okay.
forgive
Were
me.
you actually
So
born in
yeah,
a
and
church?
after I wrote my first love song. I was like 11. It was like my first heartbreak. I fell in love with like my best friend guy.
Oh,
And he saw me as a sister, so that was really sad.
yeah.
So I wrote a song saying I love him. So that was my first love song, and I always had this dream to become this big artist and to share the light of my soul with the world, and to share the culture, the Haitian culture with the world. So when I was a child, I was inspired by female Haitian singers like Emily Michel, like Misty Jean, and Princess Earth. So I used to imitate them in front of my mirror, dancing like singing like and there was another artist that I really loved. Her name was Selena Quintanilla. And I really loved her. I loved the way she was singing, her way on stage and all that. So yeah, and so because I always knew what I wanted to do, when I came here in Canada, I was like 13 years old. So I was strictly to performing arts in high school. So I've been practicing my art since a child, really. But in front of people, I've been practicing my art since 13 years old, and this year is gonna be 11 years on stage, 5 years producing myself, not musically producing, but like I'm an independent artist. So I celebrate that. We have to celebrate our mini wins. So I'm really proud of myself for not giving up. I'm really proud of myself for like continuing, like be myself, and just share who I am really, and just share my light, and you know and the purpose and the mission becomes more clear with time. And yeah, I'm just really happy. So that's pretty much my journey. Yeah.
Wrong before I continue, I have a couple of questions for
Mm-hmm.
Ren. So
Mm-hmm.
go ahead, and I'll come back to
Oh, okay. You weren't really born in a church, were you?
it.
Were you born in a
Excuse me.
church? Like you said, you were born in the church. Were you actually born in a church?
No, she said she was raised.
Raised. Okay, I thought you meant you were
Raised.
born in a church.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? By, I don't know, just by, it sounded like you were actually, like your mom gave birth to you in a church. I know that's what you were saying. But anyways, one of the things about Freaky Souls that I really like is it has a key change in it at the end, and which is kind of cool because you don't hear this happening very often in songs today. Actually, it's a really cool thing to put into songs. And what can I ask? What made you, or what's? And I'll even add this into the questions. What's your writing process? How do you go about doing it? Like, we've had people come on here and say they like to have they sing into their phone. They'll write chords down first. They'll get a beat, whatever that means. That's different things to different people. But how do you go about writing your songs and deciding on what you're going to keep?
Right? Can you hear us?
No, I don't hear y'all.
Oh,
that's why I don't speak, because I'm waiting for the question.
all right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear him right now?
I hear you though.
Oh, you
but
don't
I don't
hear him. Ron,
your person. I don't hear ReN Mollinga. So
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well,
okay. Ron is asking you as to your writing processes. Some people write music. I sing I write my songs in the shower.
Oh.
And I come down and say, oh, this is good. So I just sing and I develop it. So, So he's asking your writing processes.
So my writing processes are like really diverse. I don't know if that's the right word, but like, inspiration. I believe it's a gift from God, and they give. They I feel like they just put inspiration like in the universe, and whoever is ready to take it, they just take it. So sometimes I be sleeping and I have a melody and a song coming to me just like that, and I just write it. Sometimes I look for it. I search for like tag beats on YouTube, and I listen and I write to it. Sometimes I try to write my emotions or what I want to live in my life. I try, because I'm a really spiritual person, so I believe in manifesting. So you're gonna see like most of my songs are love song, because I really want to live that. I'm a romantic person, so I really want that romantic love. Yeah. And so so there's also like when we in the shower, I don't know, something about it, the expression just come, and after you just multiple times that happen where I just have to get out of my shower and just record that inspiration. And and so for me it's really diverse. And sometimes I just gonna have a word like Freaky Soul. I was on the bus coming back from school work, and I just had this, all I had like just sometimes it just come like this, like it's really like kind of violent actually, but anyways it just come, and it was like all I had was freaky souls, yeah, freaky souls, yeah, freaky souls, yeah, type things. And I was like, I heard like songs like Freaky Girl. I heard like a lot of songs that say freaky. So I never heard Freaky Soul. And I had to ask myself, what could I say in like Freaky Soul? What does that even mean? So I sat down and I wrote what I felt, was right for me, and which was like love, which was like sensuality, which was like, all that. And it's really important for me as a woman also to express all part of myself. We are multi dimensional beings, and I'm a spiritual woman, I'm a sensual woman, I'm a Haitian woman, I'm a human being first too. So I'm an emotional woman, like, so it's really important for me to express all those parts of me. So yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Ron.
Yeah, well, I hope she gets to hear me, because I don't know if she can or not. Can you hear me yet, Derek?
Like you have to actually tell me, because I don't hear him. So.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Tell me the
you can hear me, can you, TYB?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Just I popped the question because I asked it. Just tell me, when she said she was born in, like, she had something to do with the church. She wasn't born in a church, was she? Like, actually born in a church?
Yeah.
It might sound like a silly question.
Yeah, Rod is still grappling with the fact that you said that you were born in the church. Was it physical born or you were
No,
raised?
not physical burnout. Hey, what I wanted to say
That's
was
right.
I was born in Haiti. One.
That's right.
Second, my parents are Christians.
That's right.
So they brought me to church
Yes.
since I was a child.
Yeah.
And after I quit, but
Mhm.
but yeah. So yeah,
Sounds
that's
like a
why
silly
I was
question.
raised in it.
Mhm.
That means like, you
Mhm.
understand what I'm saying? Yeah.
So,
Okay, TYB, go ahead.
yeah. You said you wrote your first song, your first your first song. What age was it? Was you said 11?
My first love songs. Yeah,
Mhm.
I was like 11. Yeah.
Wow. And what was
Now
your
you want to understand like what a child can understand.
no? It depends. It depends on how we understand love. And
Yeah.
that you
Mhm.
see,
Mhm.
this is one thing that I think personally. I think parents don't understand
Mm-hmm.
that they think children are children. They don't know
Mm,
anything. They don't feel
mm,
things. I will
mm-hmm.
say this today. Let me digress just a little bit, just a second. Um, During the pandemic, during COVID, there was a program here. It was the mental health hour, and a lady called in,
Mm-hmm.
and she said that her daughter
Mm-hmm.
was about 4 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So the mommy, you're not happy.
Mm.
Daughter said, yes. So she called in and said, so the Dr. Tapo was telling her that, well, don't underestimate children
Mm-mm.
because it's always us and then we don't even think about them. But they went through what they had to go through during the pandemic, but we didn't see that. There's a lot of things that would go somewhere down the line that we will see things are not happening the way that we had thought of happening. We may see so many different things. So you know what? At that age, I don't think it was far from anything that was bad that you wrote the song. But I want to know the title of the track.
Uh, the title, the title now was just like "I love you." This I translated in English, but the title was it was a really simple song. Oh. It was really simple. It was not like complicated. It was like just "I love you," and I was just saying like. I remember the song though. I
Mhm.
always remember this song
Mhm.
because
Of
like I said,
course,
I'm a romantic soul, so
of
it's
course,
like I never forget like my loves.
yes. Of course.
But like the song was like the title was "I Love You," and I was saying like I love him. He's like my son. It is the son of my life. I can't live without him. Like things like that. That's what I was saying in the song, man.
Yeah. Okay. That was cool. And then apart from that,
hmm
who has been your inspiration in all of this?
Hey, Haiti, the Haitian culture. Let's just say Haitian culture has been the inspiration throughout my whole um crafting of my art, because I didn't know that before. I just know I was different. And I'm like, like why do I have to because I was like uncomfortable with it because like I don't see people creating like that in the area I'm in. So I was like, it's if people gotta understand what I'm doing, all that. So basically, when I went back and started to study, I don't say I know everything, I'm just saying like I started to study more and more like or dances or rhythms, or colors, voodoo, for example. I started to study like our expression through art, how we see art, how we like express ourselves through it, our own language, So and I discovered that I'm just Haitian, I'm not like weird or whatever. I'm just
Mhm.
Haitian. So let's say that just Haitian culture in general has been like my inspiration. And what else? Love, spirituality. I started writing love songs because I wanted to manifest romantic love in my life, and yeah, and kindness also because the world is. I feel like the world is like a dark place. Man. Like the world, this earth, it's like it's like people that do bad things, or like, they they are more they win faster than those who bring the light in the world. And that just makes me think sometimes, like, this world is just really creepy. Like, what?
Messy.
and
Especially places like Haiti.
so kindness inspires me. The fact that I can be vulnerable in a song and say what I really feel, you know, inspires me, because it's like people don't want to be vulnerable anymore. People don't want to say how they feel anymore. Like, in the sense of, like, people don't want to be seen as, like, how do they say this word? People all just want to be hard and like, oh, da, 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 da. I don't cry, da, 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 da. Girls, boys, and everybody in between, like, just want to be hard. And I'm just like, music is a place for me to just be nice and vulnerable and cry, laugh, love, just exist. It's like my safe place, So, yeah.
So now I see where you're coming from. So if you say that you're a creative, so
Yeah.
everything is merged into one, and I like that. I like that because I, for one, I don't write. I write about. I don't write too much about love.
Mm-hmm.
I write about um, existence, something sentimental. No, because everybody writes about love, and
Mm-hmm.
what is love,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I take it from that angle. And in Haitian music, for instance,
Mm-hmm.
you are a fan of compa music. Who would
Mm-hmm.
you like to collaborate with?
Oh my God, I have so many people now. Like this, the list will go on and on, and then there's different type of collaborations for me. There's the producing side, is like the stylist style, the video style, whatever that side, and all that. So, musical side, I think I would like to collaborate with Felicia Ross. I don't know if you know who that is.
Yes, yes,
Felicia is like a producer.
that's right.
She's a pianist. She's a composer. She's a great singer, a great performer. I love her. There's also, I would like to put Wuchel and Miss Dijon on one track. Me,
Ooh,
Wuchel, and Miss Dijon.
ooh.
I don't know if you know who's Wuchel is. I don't know if you know who's Miss
Play their
Dijon.
music. Yeah.
Yeah, Miss Dijon is like, she's the girl I was looking up to when I was a child, man. Like, she's that girl. She's that girl. Miss Girl is that girl. Who else? So there's those people. There's Kai.
A lot
Um,
of them. It's a lot
Olila.
of
Yeah, I mean, all of them really. Oh my God, there's somebody else I love a lot. He's singing. Gazmon. I love the way he sings, man. I love when, like, he can just do like one word in his song and you can feel it like through a soul. It's like it takes you, like, by the throat, and like just like
Mhm,
sings to you. And I'm like, ah,
mhm,
Jesus.
mhm,
There's so much people, that I look up to,
mhm,
that because collaborating with the people I have in mind. For me, it's not like collaboration of like, just for the song. For me, it's about like they are like a school for me.
mhm.
So that collaborate with them would be just me listening and learning and perfecting my art and my craft. You know, um, yeah. This is in the compa world, by the way. But
Mhm,
there's
yeah.
like,
Mhm.
there's other types of music in the Haitian culture, but like in the compa, I could name those ones. I could name. Oh my God! You know who I would really love to collaborate with? Alan Cavey, bro. Alan Cavey.
Oh, yes.
Ah, I met him.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, I met him, and he said I had a beautiful voice, so I'm
Mhm.
really happy. You know. And yeah, Alan Cave. Alan Cave is like this radio that you have in your head, like your unconscious, like it's so in our minds as people, as Haitian, that is like it's like in your unconscious mind. That means like even if you're thinking about him, even if you're listening to his music, it's like it is here in your mind because his
Hmm.
music, I don't know, but his music is timeless. His
He's a,
music,
he's a ve- he's a very good artist.
not just good now. Just
Alan
the
is
the man
a very,
had like brought Haitian culture to the world. He had made song like that my label and my grandchildren gonna listen to. It's like, and his approach to music is so simple but yet so so special. And I don't know how to explain.
and my other question before run is, do we have a lot of compa musicians in Canada?
Oh yeah, we just I feel like they don't push the platform enough, and there's different type of like exposure too. So you have the mainstream artists, and you have the how do you say that, the upcoming one. um so here in Montreal there's multiple bands, and the thing is also like Haitian music, or Haitian music industry, or like the industry that have, because there's not a lot of that right now in the mainstream. When I say mainstream, like American music, whatever,
Mhm.
where like band like the music itself has been like, that means like, you can be a solo artist, they accept that too, but like, you always have to have your band, and the band is not like just the solo artist and the band, like the band is an entity. So like we still have this thing where like, it's composed by bands. New Look is a band, DCP is a band, Harmonic is a band. So um we sell that too as image and music. That's how we live it. And but we have also like the underground, the upcoming one, and the underground, like here in Montreal I can think of Baz. Who else? I forgot the names, but like Baz is one that comes to my mind. There's Red La. There's a lot of band here in Montreal. We're just not on the platforms that we have to be, but the Haitian music is so rich. The compa music, everybody's doing compa in our culture.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
think there's a festival. There's a compa festival.
compa Creole Festival
Yeah, in
in
Toronto,
Montreal.
and in
Even
Toronto
that
too,
in
and in
Toronto
Toronto,
too. Oh my
yes,
god, I didn't know.
yes.
That's really great. That's really great because like the compa festival in Montreal, like I think it's 2 or 3 days, and there's so much artists, from like the mainstream one and the ones that here, and all the upcoming ones. Like, it's so much artists that they don't get to perform and really showcase their talent. So you have a festival with like 50 artists, and you already know that all of them are not gonna perform because nobody's gonna have all this time for them to perform, or some of them are gonna perform on like on for the green grass because are they are too early in the lineup. So yeah. Anyway, so that's one of my dreams to just make Haitian culture like mainstream culture, the same way that Jamaican culture is a mainstream culture, in the sense of like, even if maybe like the big artists like Rihanna or Beyonce are not doing like Jamaican music, but they can put dancehall, in their sound sometimes, and some artists like her is an R&B music artist, but like she did a reggae song with Zingmale, one of the person of the Mori families, so it's like, so I want our culture to be like that. I want like our culture to be mainstream, especially compa. I want it to be, and I know like it's coming up right now. People starting like to recognize it, loving it, dancing on it. But I want them to know the full spectrum of it, not just the like cool serré and chez do, because compa first, when compa started, it was with like big bands like
That's
big bands and like on, how do you say that, trumpets and all that. So it's like compa, at its core is made for you to have fun and to jump in the air, at its core. Then we have compa love and compa mamba, which is more like, dancing with chebu, kolesiri and all that. But like compa at its core, what we call compa direct, is a compa that is like on a fast BPM and can make you jump and dance,
Mhm.
and just have fun. This compa, I feel like we don't make it a lot anymore, and I want to bring that back. I don't have it right now on my song, but I'm working on it right now. I'm working on it right now, like, because I love this compa too. I love this compa, the core of compa. And I feel like I want the world to know this form of compa, so which is like the first form of compa that we call compa direct. But yeah.
Ron.
Petra, she can't
Sorry.
hear me still. Can you hear me yet, Ren? Can you hear me?
No,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. If she can't hear me, what I'd like to know is what she finds the most challenging, and if she's able to be a full-time musician with recording and keeping live as a musician, because in this industry it's very difficult, as you well know, to stay afloat and keep a full-time position as a musician. So maybe she has a day job or something like that as well that keeps her afloat. So I'm interested in what does she find most challenging?
Yeah. Says what do you find most challenging? Combining, working in the studio and also working full time somewhere, or if you have a business to run and stuff like that. Does it collide? What are some of the challenges out there?
The challenge is you get sad. You be like, oh my god, is this gonna be my life? This is not what I planned. Oh God, say something.
Mhm.
But hey, listen, because the goal is to do your music full time.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that you don't have the income that goes with it,
Mhm.
you have to make another job. And the challenge for me is just me doubting my dream. That's because you get comfortable in just going to work. I don't work full time. I go to school and I still live with my parents, so I can actually invest in my music more.
Mm.
um
Yeah.
and I go to school and work and doing the music thing, and actually helping, maybe, sometimes I'll be behind the scenes too in some events. And so the challenge for me is to lose the consistency, to lose the to to, to not give your all, to make it like a second thing.
Oh.
And it's not like the A plan anymore. And I'm really scared of that, because I'm like, I cannot live with my parents forever. I have to have my own apartment at some point. So how much in the in the economic I'm gonna be able to invest? Am I gonna have a hit soon, so I can have more people that want
Mm.
to come and see me singing? And am I gonna have a bigger team or a team soon? Like, and you see the years pass, and it's like, so you started this, you was a child, and after you became adolescent, I don't know how to say it, but like
Mm.
adolescent, and and after that you have 18, and you're like, okay. And after that, now I'm like 24. I'm about to turn 25 this year, and it's like, okay, so what are we doing, God? Like, what are we doing? This is not. Do you see me? Do you see how hard I work? How hard I invest. And the hard part for me is to just don't do it full time. Is to just give up on my dream, though. Like, that would be, because I never saw myself not doing it, and not doing it at my highest potential. And sometimes it makes me sad, because it's like, you know I could hire somebody to help me, or I could have a manager, but it's like, it's hard to find like a manager, because you don't have a hit yet. And it's like, they don't want to come. And you know it's not easy to build a team when you're not on top. But to be on top, it's gonna be longer to do it alone. And it's a lot of things that are challenging for me. But the most of them is to just get into the routine and to to like downplay my thing. And I'm like, I'm really scared of that. That makes me really sad. Sometimes I'll be at work and I'm like, actually I have a nice work right now. I'm working at the museum. It's nice because it's art. So I try to do. I'm studying communication, and so I go study things that help me in my career. I'm working at places where I can meet people that can be in my spectrum of career, music career or entertainment career. You try to help yourself, but same, if you have work, you have to give your 100%. So it's just hard. Like, y'all get to my emotion right now because but I have to still doing it because if I don't do it, then I don't feel alive anymore. I just it's scary to reimagine my life another way. I don't know. It's my brain is not coming at pace with that. Like my brain cannot do that. Like that. This is it's like killing myself and renewing myself like in a new spectrum of person. Because I don't know. It's really challenging. That's yeah.
Can you ask her? Can you ask her if she knows about Factor? And if she doesn't, to have her contact me, and I'll let her know because I had a meeting with Factor and they gave me an awesome insight about money.
Yeah.
So can you ask her about if she knows about Factor and she hasn't? Let's talk offline about that because it's a really good way of getting money for your art.
Yeah, Ron is trying. He's asking whether you know about the fact that Factor has grants and for musicians and for production and all those kind of stuff. And you know what, he would like to get in touch with you and then get you some information as to how you be able to get some funding to continue with the processes that you've started.
I would welcome it. I would welcome it.
Yeah.
With my
That's
two
right.
arms. Yes.
Because a lot of JUNO award
Because I
winners
tried
were
some years ago, and I was like, this thing.
Yeah.
I tried to have a formation on it and to do it by myself, and I was like, oh my god, I need somebody.
There are so many
I didn't
avenues.
submit things though.
Yeah.
I never had an answer, and it's like, this is not my forte. This is not my forte.
That's right. That's right. Well,
yeah.
you've shown us about. I love your spirit. The fact of the matter is that you love the culture, the Haitian culture. I love the Haitian culture myself. Honestly speaking, I play more Haitian music.
Ooh la la.
What the heck? Yes, because this radio station is for it's built for African Caribbean and then diaspora and then the whole world. Because as we we are winding down right now, we have so many countries, over 120 countries listening to us right now.
Nice.
Some watching us and some listening to us right now. So you know what? It's a place where we come, Ron, myself, and Petra. We come here as artists to come and share because we care. As the call sign for this radio station, Love the Afrobeat Music Talk Radio, the station that cares because we share. So you know what? Ron will be getting in touch with you, and with respect to that, how can people reach you on your social media platforms? If you can tell them, because a lot of people out there maybe waiting to hear that.
So the name is REN, then DARAH everywhere. If you type my name on Google, it's like a flex for me to say that. If you type my name on Google, you're gonna find everything that I do. So I'm on Spotify, Apple Music, IG, YouTube. So everywhere is like REN DARAH everywhere. Yeah.
Yes, folks. There you have it. You've got to come back again. There was a lot of miscommunication out there, sending some information out there. That's what cut the whole time into this. But we would like to have you back because this is an international year for the women, not day, not month, the whole year. So we are preparing ourselves to be bringing a lot more women in jazz, in Afrobeat, in compa, in zouk, and what have you, for people to come here, and then we have a conversation on this radio station. We don't interview, we have conversations so that you have, the wherewithal and the comfortability around you to be able to express yourself. And we've gotten that. And I think a whole lot of listeners out there have also heard you, and they will be patronizing and then coming to your shows. And whenever you are in performing here, hey, we'll be right there. And if you are in Vancouver, yes, Ron is in Vancouver. So Ron will be able to, come there and share with you, because he's also a songwriter. Maybe there could be a collaborative kind of stuff out there. Yeah, because Ron is in Nigeria now. Ron has been collaborating with some Nigerian artists, and he has come out with one of the best tracks in this first quarter. It's called Claustrophobic. Very beautiful track. And he's been working with a lot of other musicians. So we'll look at it. And until we meet again, folks, thank you for sharing your space and time with us on Love the Afrobeat Music Talk Radio, your #1 African Caribbean online radio.
Thank you.
We are here. Enjoy the rest of your evening, your morning, your afternoon, and take care of yourselves and each other. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.